Okay, today we're talking with Segun Akande, the author of Izi and Larry's children books. Segun,
Hi.
how are you doing today, sir?
I'm very good, and you?
I'm doing wonderfully.
Good,
Rabab,
good,
how are
good.
you feeling
I'm
today?
fine. I'm delighted to be with you to hear more about the book.
I'm delighted to have you here, guys.
And let's start with the first question, which is there an underlying message you want children to take away from your books?
Absolutely. The first book, actually, when Izzy first meets Larry, she notices Larry because he's the only one standing in the far corner of the zoo, right? And none of the other animals are talking to him. And when one of the first things they say to each other, Izzy said, "Hi, why are you on your own?" Because well, and Larry said none of the other animals are talking to him, right? Now, the point being made there is not to be afraid of what other people are thinking or doing. Yeah, not to go with the majority, and to be true to yourself, and to be nice to people. So in every book of Izi and Larry, it's about being tolerant.
Yeah.
It's about love. It's about being true to yourself, and about treating everybody the way you'd like yourself to be treated.
That's very important.
Yeah. I also have a vision. So I always think to myself, what kind of world will I like my, at the end of the day, Izi and Larry books are a love story between myself and my daughter, really. Yeah, it's a love letter, really. But I always think, what kind of world would I want my daughter to live in the future? And now, my desire is for her to be surrounded by love, by kindness, and by tolerance. So that's the kind of world I would like our children to grow up in. And I think that if we want that kind of world, it may be too late for our generation. But the best thing we can do is to try and invest in the children now, so that when they grow up with those kind of ideals.
On the same lines as that generation gap thing, how do you feel about the fact that some people frown at the fact that Izzy's parents are separated?
Yes. I remember when the first Izi and Larry book came out several years ago. That's something that someone said to me that I got rather upset about. But the fact is this, right? I purposely didn't hide the fact that Izi and Larry's parents are separated for two reasons. Because one, it's about my daughter and myself, and I am a divorcee and I'm separated. And two, because it's the reality of the world. We don't want children growing up. Obviously we want husbands and wives to stay together, right? But the fact is, it's not happening in many cases, right? Now, we don't want children growing up judging people who haven't stayed together with their wives or vice versa. Yeah, we don't want them growing up thinking those people are any less of a human being or person than those that whose marriages are thriving. Obviously, we want more marriages thriving, but we want our children to be growing up in the reality of the fact that these things can happen, and also to know that yes, if these things do happen, it doesn't mean that the mother or the father doesn't love that child. They're just as loved just as much by the mother and father separately as they are as they are together. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Speaking about separation, cultures, religions, these other different cultures seem to be celebrated in your books.
Yeah.
Why is this important to you?
Now, culture obviously is important, because I think it's important we understand our culture, because when we understand our culture, we appreciate it, we're proud of it, and I believe it makes us better people. But religion is an interesting one, because I'm a Christian, right? And in fact, the first book of Izi and Larry, 5-6 years ago, it was actually focused on educating children, on teaching children about biblical characters, right? But then a few days I thought to myself, I want my daughter to grow up in a world where people respect each other's beliefs and faiths. Unfortunately, we have that doesn't happen so much these days, and I believe every person has a right to believe in what they want to believe in, as long as that faith is not harming anybody, as long as it's a faith centered on love, on goodness, on treating your fellow man and woman with love and kindness. So in that, I realize that I want a generation in the future where people respect each other's faiths. And you know what? Some people might not even have one, but that doesn't make them any better or worse than whatever.
It's respecting their individuality,
exactly,
whatever it is.
Exactly. So that's why I want to educate. Look, whether I educate you today on Islam or Buddhism or Christianity or whatever, you know, as a child, yeah, as you grow up, you will make your own decision about what you want to believe in. So I'm just educated on different religions so that they understand that people have a right to believe in what they want to believe in and to respect them and love them just as much.
Nice message.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time.